Hey, so this is my in a week video. So this week, quite a lot moved. So in closed this week, we have the Q2 data import restart permission error prevents batch creation, and the other data import restore process style override for authorized automated templates. In QA, we have the publisher guided upload start, Q1, WS data tables override reupload, orphans runtime field values, publisher upload entry and context, Q3 rows field requires should be read only, and the Q2 designer excludes system managed fields and output mappings. In a way to release video, we have the Q2 WS designer prevent changing lookup source type after first version. So this one, for context, it is important to socialize, but there is quite a lot of stuff that can break when changing the type of an options field from data table to regular options after the first version has been published. This involves data import and reporting, as well as regular filtering in advanced filters and stuff like that. And this was going to eventually cause issues, and I believe it's already caused some issues in the past, but I can't really point to one specific example. But usually it's to do with publishing a process with a regular options field or a data table options field, and then creating some processes, like having a report or something like that, and then creating a new version and switching it from whatever it was to the other one, which essentially is almost like changing the field type. It is still an options field, but all the underlying mechanisms between data table and regular options are basically just make them separate field types. Um, and we usually already don't allow changing field types, but this is a bit of an exception. So yeah, we'll see if we want to eventually keep this. We need to fix basically the handling of it to be able to deal with switches on all different contexts that this can be done. But for now, at least, we're just preventing the user from switching. I'm not entirely sure if there's a use case for actually changing these after the first version, unless it was a mistake in the first version in the first place. But in that case, there's always the option to delete the field and create a new one. But other than that, in CodeView, we have the investigate automated by email receives an MC data import response. So this one was just the issue with data import. So the issue's already been fixed as part of different user stories. So this one probably just needs to be closed. In blocked, Q2 WMS runtime response support markdown rendering so we don't show ugly or markdown syntax output. But this one was just blocked because there was an issue raised where the actual AI response on the right here is shown in nice formatting with all the markdown displayed correctly, but on the left-hand side, on a rich text field, it just shows the regular markdown. Now I've just blocked this because I think this is a bit beyond the scope, not because it, well, it is somewhat within scope, I guess. But the problem is not so much as of is it within the scope. It's more as in the resources that would need to be allocated to actually making the rich text field one display correctly. The reason being why um, the actual display on the right, where it can be formatted, is quite easy. It's literally just made to do that, so we can just change it to always display markdown, unless there's no markdown, and then it just displays normally. But the rich text field itself is a rich text field, and our rich text fields don't support Markdown, they use HTML. And if we were to add Markdown support, that would also mean that they would essentially, there might be conflicts between like a bold in HTML and a bold in Markdown, this sort of stuff. And overall, it's just a change to rich text fields in general, which users might not be too happy to if their rich text fields start breaking because they have a couple of asterisks or dashes in places, and they're not supposed to be Markdown, but then it turns into Markdown. But yeah, get the gist. So this is we probably need to think of a better way of doing this. I think probably it would be either having some sort of toggle in the rich text field to allow it to not be HTML and be Markdown, or we're just using like a different field or something like that, a different field type. But for now, I believe this needs to be discussed and just raised separately. Um, and then in progress, we have the automatic campaign unlinking or data import template deletion as or remove import as template. So this one is I'm currently working on for when you unlink when you delete a data import template, it will automatically unlink it from the campaign. and send a notification to the user. So I'm currently working on that one. And then after that, I also have the user-facing download spreadsheet template for the data import templates. And yeah, that's pretty much it for my week. Next week, I'll just carry on working on these publisher data import user stories.